The Big Ten Conference went 10 years without a national championship before Michigan and Ohio State holding back-to-back titles for the conference these past 2 seasons. Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs returned for the Buckeyes, arguably the nation's best players for each side of the ball, and despite losing 14 players to the NFL draft, Ohio State brings in plenty of supporting talent. Another potential issue, Julian Sayin, the quarterback, has yet to start a game, but he is a 2023 5-star recruit, and a lot of people are hyping him up. Should he live up to the pressure, and I think he will, the Buckeyes could repeat as national champions. They have good leadership and have an 8-game win streak against Penn State, another team a lot of people are hyping up. The Nittany Lions have, I'd say, the best backfield in the nation. Drew Aller, Nick Singleton, and Kaytron Allen, and a decent amount of impact starters on defense. But also much depends on their wide receivers. All of the starting receivers a year ago left the program, and as much success as Penn State has had over the years, the Nittany Lions have lost 15 straight games against teams ranked in the AP Top 7, going back to 2016. So until they prove it on the field, I'm kind of hesitant on elevating them all the way up to the national favorites tier. Despite their disappointing finish, we can't forget Oregon being the only team with an undefeated regular season in 2024. However, about 2/3 of the team's rushing and receiving production must be replaced, along with the quarterback. And on defense, 2/3 of their tackling production and almost 50% of their sack total also has to be replaced. Yet they bring in the Big Ten's top transfer portal class, which also ranks 5th in the nation, so I feel relatively confident about another return to the playoffs. Behind those three, the picture gets foggier unless the Big Ten can get a 4th team into the playoff for the 2nd year in a row. Obviously, you have those 3 teams that people generally agree on. Last year, that 4th team was Indiana, a team who shocked the college football world after going 9-27 the past 3 years. The Hoosiers bring back a solid foundation from 2024's team and performed well in the portal, but they do face a more challenging schedule this year. Illinois is a trendy pick as they return the 17 starters and quarterback Luke Altmaier is in his senior year. People believe that they can be this season's Indiana and catch lightning in the bottle as a playoff threat. Michigan's riding a ton of momentum after season-ending wins against Ohio State and Alabama. You don't see that too often. The passing game is improved, but the defensive front loses a ton of production. But fortunately, besides Ohio State, all 8 of their other conference games are against teams who had losing Big Ten records in 2024. Obviously, you have Iowa and Kirk Ferentz's ability to win 8 games every year for the past 10 years. For the first time in quite a while, though, the offense might go into the year on better footing than the defense, and the Hawkeyes are a team I believe a lot of people are sleeping on. You have Nebraska, and Matt Rule jumps into his 3rd year at the Huskers, and he has quite the track record of making drastic jumps in his 3rd year. For 7 straight years, a decade and a half ago, all they did was finish 9-4, and I think Matt Rule can get them to that point again. Lincoln Riley faces a lot of pressure at USC, but the Trojans are also sort of flying under the radar as they've quietly bolstered their offense with improved weaponry. However, a schedule that includes road visits to Illinois, Notre Dame, and Oregon, I think that might slow them down. A common theme last year in the Big Ten was the new West Coast team struggling on road games, and I think that will hinder at least USC, Washington, and UCLA, despite the Huskies' recent national championship game appearance and the Bruins hauling in Nico Iamaleava.